what's up, all you nerds and turds? It's me, it's Steve, it's him, it's Andy. There's Matt here. This is Indie's Nuts Podcast, the internet's #1 indie gaming news, reviews, and previews podcast, hosted by a bunch of neckbeards you've never heard about. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
I played indies.
Good.
I did too.
Technically, I guess I did. Kind of.
I am the most tired I have been in like 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I am exhausted. It's great, but I've been playing indies, and we're going to talk about them. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk indies, and you can talk indies with us by going to patreon.com/dual-screens, just like our Patreon producers, Colton, The Apprentice, Nestler. You go there, and just $1 gets you in our VIP, super secret, top double probation Discord, where you can chat games with us all the time. Special shout out to Sunny Rads, contributing editor here at Dual Screens, who is going to be getting back on the keyboards soon because she and former Patreon producer FNH Paul have welcomed a beautiful baby girl into the world.
I love it.
A week has passed. The baby is babying all over the place.
So
Congratulations, Sunny Rads and Paul. The first ever baby of Dual Screens. Well, aside from my baby.
It's weird for us to
And
own
your baby.
the baby like that.
And one of
Weird.
Taylor's babies. And whoever
Not
else
the
had
first.
babies.
Not the first at
You're
all.
not the first baby at all.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, all right. So I'm sorry.
The
Yeah.
It's a baby.
It's
a baby. It's a baby.
All right.
Bob had a baby. It's a boy.
It's a baby. It's a girl, by the way. We're not going to give out government names here in case you were trying to steal a baby's identity. So
Jeffrey Tenenbaum.
Jeffrey Tenenbaum, the 8-pound, 1-ounce baby girl. All right, guys, let's dive into who's Barry Badgenath. Let's get into the show. Andy, is there anything new coming to Dual Screens, and what was our most recent episode of the Dual Screens podcast all about?
Steven is writing a review, he tells me, and I'm very excited to look at it when that's ready, as is Jimmy doing some reviews. And our latest interview was a fun one for me because I couldn't care less about the topic, but I was somehow enthralled, intrigued, into it. RPG stories. It's not really a game per se. It's a virtual tabletop and 3D world builder that you use for nerding out and being a giant dork.
Yep.
Playing D&D.
D&D and other
Sick.
tabletop.
I was like into it.
Yeah, you make a it's a virtual tabletop right now. It was kickstarted. It's in early access on Steam, and it's basically you make 3D maps right now. They're going to be adding slowly more integration so that your friends can join your world without having to own the game. They just kind of go in. Their characters will live there in full 3D, almost like a 3D video game. They get to move around and play and stuff. But it's so easy to build in that world. I did kickstart it. Full disclosure. And when I was using it to make some maps and some environments for a campaign that I was running, it's like building in Sims. It's so easy. There's just thousands of objects for you to use and resize and clip together and like smash them together. It's like playing with pre-made Play-Doh sets.
That's awesome.
And there's also the community hub on Steam that you can just download other people's creations. So people wildly more creative than me are in there making incredible stuff that I could just drag and drop into my world, which is amazing. So yeah, RPG Stories, that interview is up right now. They have a really awesome community on Discord as well. And thank you for coming on that show. It was a really good time. All right, so let's get into our indie game adventures. These are the games that we have been playing on the indie sphere this week. And Matt, let's start with you because you're playing what I believe has been coined the hardest game of all time.
I don't know if that's particularly true, but this is Tiny Thor. This is a really fantastic, very old school platformer. Basically, you play as Tiny Thor. You're Thor Kid. You are trying to celebrate your birthday, and you're running on this Bifrost bridge that is a giant rainbow. You're running along it. You see something going to crash to Earth, and you trip on a rock on the Bifrost,
Sure.
and
Yep.
you fall to Earth.
As one does.
As one does. And yeah, you're trying to kind of figure out what's going on, what crashed to Earth, and make your way back to Asgard and probably save the day from something much worse. This game has some of the most beautiful pixel art I've seen recently.
Yeah, we're watching it right now.
The soundtrack is like 16-bit gold. Like, it is just anytime that you were head bobbing when you had an SNES, or rather 32-bit gold, SNES or a Sega, this game has that vibe all over it. It is the music is beautiful. Some of the tracks are like really bumping, some of them are like chill and puzzly sounding. The mechanic of the hammer and throwing it is used so well and so differently through all the stages that it really, really like makes you try to master it. It's not just like thrown in there as like a lemon like Mega Man. Like, there are parts where you're shooting it at angles and you're trying to get it to bounce off different things. You will pick up different power-ups like a dash, a double jump, and some other standard fare stuff throughout the way. But it is brutally difficult. The boss fights are awesome, also very difficult. But what I was saying on the pre-show, I'll mirror here, is that it starts off and it's like, oh, hey, it's like, this game's kind of hard. And you're like, yeah, it's pretty hard. You're like, all right, cool. Yeah, it's pretty hard. I get it. It's cool. It's a little hard. And then by the time that you get through it, by the time that you get to like the final batch of levels, that game is telling you to fuck yourself. It's like, fuck you, do this perfect. And you'll sit there because it's so quick to get back into the stage and like pop back up at the checkpoint until you do it. And it is so satisfying getting some of these things and figuring out the puzzles and all that. I cannot recommend this game enough to anybody who loved pixel platformers back in the day, who loves indie platformers, or who just loves difficult platformers. It is maybe my favorite game of the year so far.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, I think I told Matt, because he kept harping on about it for the longest time, and I was like, fine, I'll try it. Fuck you, I love this.
It's so good.
And
it's so good.
Starting a new tradition here, I'm going to read the popular user-defined tags for this game.
Oh,
Precision platformer.
I like this.
Vikings.
That's true.
Pixel
That's
graphics.
Accurate. Also true.
2D.
Yes.
All
That's
accurate.
Those are all accurate.
Those are the 4 user-generated.
I think my favorite level, and we saw a little bit of it here just before we move on, is it's a level, or there's several levels that just involve bees. And the usage of bees and hive mentality and like how they use bees is so good. Like, it is so, that's the thing that blows me away. Like, it's like Celeste. Like, every time they introduce a new mechanic, it's done so well that you can't help, like, even as difficult as it is, you're like, oh fuck, this is brilliant, and I hate myself because I love it so much.
It's really amazing how like it out Celested Celeste in a lot of ways. It's because Celeste, I feel, is like, it's not just the gold standard. It's the ultimate.
Yeah, Celeste is
genre.
a masterpiece.
Well,
Absolutely.
Celeste is only what it is. It's test your platforming skills.
Yeah,
that's what it's there for.
For sure.
Whereas this game looks like it has more combat and enemy pattern recognition, shit like that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but let's not downplay like the story of Celeste.
Not at all.
It's that game is amazing.
This I find way more engaging, and I just, if it's just the setting and the characters, I fell in love with it harder than I did with Celeste.
I knew you would.
Dearly, like
I saw the first boss in the pixel art, like the sprite of the first boss, and I was like, Andy is gonna want to have sex with that.
I rub my dick on the screen almost instantly.
Listeners, he did not do that. Okay, just to let you guys know that. All right, the next game here is what I will be reviewing for the website.
Yes.
And that is AEW Fight Forever, which
I'm interested on your thoughts.
This is going to actually feed into one of our listener questions later on, because really, is this an indie game? ? You know what I mean? It has it has the AEW money behind it as one of the actual creators. It's got THQ Nordic behind it, and Ukes and LTD making it, which are, you know, I've been making the WWE games for years up until maybe 4 years ago. Now, this is a throwback to the N64 era of games, but not in the way that I was hoping it would be. Let me explain.
Please do. I'm interested.
The N64 THQ Ukes games were all about were classic in the sense that it was easy to pick up and play, highly customizable characters, and a really long story mode that took, I think it was a whole year you played in almost all of them. And it had attention to detail as far as move sets go and all that stuff. From a gameplay perspective, from a picking up and playing perspective, Fight Forever nails that feel. It has it 100%. It's intuitive. You pick it up, you play it, and if you've played those games, you know what's happening in this game. But what's important to know is that this is not WWF No Mercy. This is WCW NWO World Tour.
Is a really, really, really good way of... That's a great analogy. Absolutely.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, WCW NWO World Tour was the first American wrestling company game that was made by these developers back in the late 90s. It was basically a reskin of a Japanese wrestling game. I'm blanking on the name. I wasn't prepared to talk about it. I'm sorry. Patrick Hickey Jr., please don't kill me. And... just fantastic, adored wrestling games, but that game was focused on just the mechanics of the wrestling and just having fun with your friends. AEW Fight Forever has very lackluster creative wrestler, almost to the point like I was trying to make my generic character that I actually wrestled as, and I was like, I can't make it even come close to looking like what I want it to look like, so I didn't even bother. That's disappointing. Also, the entrances are incredibly lackluster. They all it is they come out to the stage and they do a pose and that's it. It fades, which is exactly how the two WCW games were. It wasn't until we got WWF WrestleMania 2000 that they actually went to the ring and did a pose. So I was kind of hoping that they would at least go that route. But
I think really quick to harp on that.
Yeah.
My least favorite part of the entrance isn't even that. It's that they give you the option for pyro, but they tie all the pyro to your face buttons, and you set it off. Which it sounds cool, but then nobody in the game has their pyro.
Right. Yeah, it's to me it was clear that the focus on this game was gameplay. But here's the encouraging thing about the game. Oh, and before I go into the encouraging things, the other thing that I found lackluster was the roster. It's way too small.
It's tiny.
It's, I don't know,
like 34 people?
Maybe 30. Yeah, something like that. And with the size roster that they have and the ties that they have to other companies, like you would think that, you know, some Ring of Honor would get some love at some point. But that being said, from what I understand, Fight Forever is a platform, and it's something that they're going to continue to add to as opposed to coming out with a new one every year, every other year. This is just going to get constant content drops, and it wouldn't shock me if we get massive creator wrestler drops where they drop 30, 40, 50 different objects into you to unlock. You get all the in-game currency but just by wrestling, and just your matches get rated, you get gold, you use the gold to unlock stuff. More characters to unlock, and it's something that they could add, they could patch in, or you know, maybe a year from now, full entrances and stuff like that. So if that is the plan with this game, I am way okay with the fact that it came out with the focus on gameplay, because the gameplay is what really matters in this game. You're going to have classic fun. The mini games are hilarious.
Yeah,
like playing some of these mini games, it's stupid. It could be so much fun. But yeah, I mean, it's a competent wrestling game that is going to satiate AEW fans. But if you're looking for No Mercy, this is not it. This is World Tour.
I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if it is going to satiate AEW fans because, like, the modes in it are really lackluster too. Like, I really do. I love the core gameplay. It's super great. They nailed it. It's a little buggy like the old ones were anyway, but at its core, it is a really, really fun game to pick up and play. Literally everything else about the game, everything else is incredibly lackluster, and I think they probably could have kept this in the oven for like another 6 months and nobody would have cared. And they could have just let it ride and it would have been fine. Or even like another 3 months and just add a little bit more content, because I am worried that the state that it's in now is going to turn a lot of people away, especially for a game that is full price. Like, that is a full ass priced game. I would not personally recommend it to anybody at full price.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is something that'll be $30 next year, but maybe they come out with packs, like a $10 thing to add a bunch of content and get their money that way and get people interested and invested in it that way. It could be a games of service type thing, but like I said, if you want to wrestle with your friends and have a good time and whatever, it's great. If you want to create a wrestler and go through a story mode, it's really not that great. The movesets aren't that great. Like, it's just not.
It's not there.
It's not there yet, but it will be there. I'm confident it will be there eventually. THQ Nordic, by the way, publishes like a gajillion games, and I don't know if it's, right to call that an indie per se, but whatever, it doesn't matter. What else we got here? All right, Andy, you revisited Pizza Possum. Why? Why have you revisited Pizza Possum, friend?
I have a good reason. Well, First of all, it's a great game. It's a great little demo that came out not too long ago.
But tell me, I'm intrigued.
Post PAX East. So they launched a new demo for Steam Next Fest, by the way. And I was like, what's changed since the last demo? So the initial demo, if you guys recall from our last conversation about this game, it was like a tech demo. You run around, you eat shit, you open some doors with some keys you find, you eat a big fish, and the demo just kind of ends, in a sense. Now we see like actual game, like the game design in real time as you're playing this, because now he's added an actual game mechanic to the whole thing. So now all the doors are locked and you have to eat the food in the immediate space to get a key. So eating fills up a meter, which nets you a key to unlock a door, to go to the next space, to eat more food, to unlock another key, to get to the big fish at the end. And their items are on the map. You can just grab them and use them without unlocking them by eating a bunch of shit, which if you're good at the game, it's not that hard, you may not even experience previously. So it's fun seeing him evolve and actually like
gamify it a little bit more.
Got some feedback, and now he's making a game out of this project, it seems.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's really neat seeing that process happen, and the game is still adorable.
Maybe the most immediate fun I had at PAX.
Oh my god.
Like, just pick up the controller, I'm having fun now.
Like, it's still the same fun game, but now it's like there's actual there's rules now and things to accomplish, and you feel more satisfied eating than just watching your possum be a fat fuck and eat everything.
Yeah,
just for hilarity's sake. So it's cute. But now it feels like there's objectives, there's goals, and I want to see where it goes after this. So
Andy, you
wishlist that shit immediately.
I don't want to piggyback here and double up on you, but you did put another one in here, and neither of us have something new. And
I did.
I have a question about this game before I mention the game's name.
Sure.
Is there anything more anime than the genres of this game and
oh my god,
the trailer of this game?
Wait, what is the genres?
Oh my god.
I will.
If Persona were a genre,
here are the tags, the popular user-defined tags for this product. Hack and slash.
Do it.
Okay.
Dating sim.
Definitely.
Anime.
Yep.
JRPG.
Yeah, nailed it. Yep.
All right. Take us into it, Andy. This is
Welcome to Weeb Central.
Eternites.
Seriously. I need like my waifu pillow when I talk about this game, I feel. So if you on the onset, if you even slightly remotely like Persona, you're gonna get this game's vibe. It's a vibe, this game. So it's the social dating link thing that Persona does so well. You're a teenager in high school, and then there's a dungeon and you fight monsters. And that's Persona. Those two halves.
Wow, that was a penis on the screen just now. That was definitely a penis.
Sure was.
You saw what I was looking at, right?
Penis stage.
Is it the penis stage?
Yeah, the whole level
the
was
penis
just
stage?
a big giant freaking neon penis.
It's a giant
big
dick.
old donger.
So the demo begins. It's like you're making your dating profile for your online app. It's like a Tinder thing, and like your best friend's like, "Come on, like, give me your opening line," and the options are like, "I'm cool" or "I have low standards." I was like cracking up while I was playing this, but like I'm playing this sim, and I'm like, I just want to fuck my best friend. I don't want to date girls in this game.
They don't have options for poor Andy.
Yeah, I know. But then you go to bed, and then your arm gets cut off, and then the sword's there, and then you fight shit.
Yeah, well,
so I get that's the anime part of it.
That's definitely anime,
and it's very. But I feel it has a good system to build off of. Got a really cool soundtrack.
The combat looks pretty good.
Yeah,
there's like a dodge, there's a perfect dodge.
The world design looks kind of rad.
Hacky slash. Yeah,
but I gotta tell you, Perger
really
said
cool.
something. Perger said something in the chat that makes me agree and not want to play this. And he said we should stop doing dating sims with high schoolers. And I agree. It's weird. I'm a 37-year-old man.
Yeah, I think like Japanese culture just has a different age restriction for stuff like that. It's like isn't like
what's
14 like legal or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What's interesting is
still
like
gross.
They just
so you set up your dating profile, then some girl like reaches out to you and she's like, "Hey, do you want me to send you nudes?"
Hey, I also have low standards.
Yeah, sure. And she'll say, "You passed the test. Let's go on a date."
Saying yes was the right answer to that?
Saying yes was the right answer.
That's weird.
All right.
That's weird.
All right.
That's weird.
Very into this game. I love shit like this. It's
indeed.
It's like why I love Galgun so much, you know? It's just I love anime waifu bullshit. It's cute.
It's I mean it's a thing. Like didn't they I forget what game it was. I think it was a game. There was something where they actually changed the age of the was it Final Fantasy actually? There was a big game that they changed the actual age of the protagonist in the Americanized or westernized version.
It was definitely gross.
Oh, this sounds
weird.
familiar.
Yeah, because the character was 16 in Japan.
Was it Final Fantasy VIII? The little girl with the little stick thingies?
No, it was recent. It was a recent thing.
Recent one.
Was it? Oh, they definitely changed the age of the president's daughter in Resident Evil 4.
Oh yes, in Resident Evil 4, yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember that.
She was a kid in the Japanese one. She was like a I don't know, teenager or whatever. But no, there was something there because it was like, all right, enough.
Yeah,
enough
this sounds
with the children.
very familiar.
Enough with the children and the kissing and the like. Let's stop doing this.
I'm on Purger's side. This is weird, and let's stop doing it.
Oh yeah, it was Fire Emblem. Sunny Rads came in. It was Fire Emblem. That was when they changed all the ages of the kids. Like they weren't. They changed our version of Fire Emblem Engage. That's what it was. Yeah. I knew it was one of the big franchises.
They engaged all right.
They engaged. All right, we got a bunch of steals of the week because we have the Steam Summer Sale highlights. Hey, Mr. Matt Murray, give us the deets.
Oh boy. So there's a lot. I tried to dig really quick today. I'm sure there's way more than this. But yeah, so tons of great indies are on sale. Tons of great roguelikes are on sale. Just the summer sale is like fuck your wallet, buy stuff. So some of the highlights of games that I am really into. Enter the Gungeon is on sale for $5.99. That is a well-respected and highly loved, floor by floor roguelike.
Beloved.
Great. Yeah. Dead by Daylight, I've never played personally, but people love that game. It's on sale for $7.99. I know there's a ton of DLC. I assume that is also on sale for crazy low prices. One thing that annoys the piss out of me, and I don't know if they're still doing it, is that when I did look into getting into this game, you couldn't bundle all the DLC together and buy it at once. It was all like separate. Undermine, $4.99. Super fantastic roguelike. Will keep you engaged for a very long time. You play infinite miners trying to go down in a mine, and all you mysteriously die maybe, and nobody seems to give a shit when you turn up as somebody else. It's great.
Matt.
Yes.
You can get the Ultimate Edition.
Okay. Of Dead by Daylight.
Of Dead by Daylight, which gives you Dead by Daylight, the Killer expansion pack, and the Survivor expansion pack for $38.25.
On sale for how much? Like, what's the normal price for that?
$80.
Okay.
So it's 52% off right now.
There you go. That's a great deal. I don't know if that's everything, but there's a lot of stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of like sponsored stuff. Like there's the Resident Evil collection you could get for $22. You get the Silent Hill collection for $25. So like there's other stuff to add.
Too much content that isn't in the real game, but the game is fantastic.
The game is very big.
Yeah, it's huge. Dicey Dungeons, really great turn-based strategy roguelike. Has a bunch of different missions, a bunch of different characters you can play through as. Awesome game for $5.09. This might be my favorite, the Bleed 1 and 2 bundle for $4.32. Bleed 1 and 2 are
great games.
Yes.
Some of the greatest, like, just action platformers that not enough people talk about, I feel like. The graphics are very, like, Newgrounds, circa 2009.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that people kind of off-put them. But getting these two for that cheap, definitely no-brainer. Fucking buy them. Scourge Bringer, super difficult roguelike, hack and slash roguelike, absolutely beautiful pixel art, great music, great room design, great enemy design. $5.94. Pawnbarian, which is a game we've actually talked about on here before when we were going through our weird like chess phase of indie games. We had like a chess phase. I don't know. People have like a teen phase. We had a chess phase.
They all came out at once. That was the phase. It
was really weird.
Here's 3 in one day. Okay.
$4.99, also available on mobile. Fantastic mobile game, and this is like a kind of roguelike where you're going through as one single pawn who's getting more powerful and destroying other chess pieces and like chess-like puzzles. It's very fun, and there's so many more that I couldn't even name.
Yeah,
I didn't want to take up too many time. So there's
too many time. Don't
more.
Want to take up too many time.
Too many time. All the games, play them. Good.
Too many. Too many game good to play.
Too good many. You should.
All right.
Do it now.
Let's go into the wish list roundup. We have 3 games here that came across our thingamabob, and one of them I meant to play before the show so that I could put it in the indie game adventures, but I forgot because it is a demo and it is in early access, free to play. Well, not a demo, it's a free to play game in early access is what I should say, but it looks freaking dope, and it is called Monster Racing League. And you know us and our arcade racers. We're big. What is happening here? Why is this so far?
Oh my god.
What's going on here?
Oh my god.
There we go.
I hope you guys like the bottom of the screen and the scroller, because it's so dope. It's so
This one doesn't
designed.
have any banners built into the Steam page, so I do apologize. I was fitted for 2 different versions of the Steam page, just not this one.
Not that one, yeah, right.
This is a kart racer, but it has a lot of it has different camera perspective than normal. But yeah, I mean, kart racer, and it's online, and it looks
really fun.
Yeah,
it looks really fun.
It looks like a good time. It's got a lot of packs that are out here: Medieval Cosmetics Pack, Mythology Cosmetics, Shogun, Ignition Premium Pass, which I guess is
it free to play?
It is. It's a free. Yeah, it's free to play game. Yep.
Okay.
You can play it. You can play it right now.
Maybe I will.
Beat the piss out of each other. Monster Racing League. Let's go to the popular user-defined tags for this product. Multiplayer.
Hack and slash, dating sim, anime, JRPG.
No. It gets better. Multiplayer, single player, casual, action, cute.
Anime. Oh, okay. All right.
Cute.
Which is
Cute.
all
Dating
of
sim.
the descriptors of my dating profile in 2008. Multiplayer, single player, casual, action, cute.
The last time Steve was allowed to be attracted to anything.
2009.
The next one on here looks fucking awesome. It's called Marco Beyond Brave. This game looks freaking dope.
This game does look fucking dope.
Let's get the trailer playing while we talk. Okay. It's an action-packed Metroidvania adventure. Wander through lush forests and crumbling castles, battle corrupted creatures, and escape intricate traps. Jump, slash, and shoot your way through challenging foes and mighty bosses inspired by Slavic myths and legends.
Yeah, this looks awesome. I love the art.
Beautiful hand-drawn. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. I just love the world. It just seems so Saturday morning cartoon. It's got that Dragon's Lair vibe to it.
I can see it.
But yeah, this is coming out Q4. It does have a demo right now if you want to play your way through that. Yeah, man, Metroidvanias are if they're done right, you know how we feel about them. I bet Andy has this. Do you have this wish listed there, Andy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
This is no way. This is
It's
no
already
fucking
there.
way. No.
It's already there.
Marco Beyond the Brave. All right. You could probably imagine the user-defined tags for this product. Metroidvania, 2D platformer, action, adventure. Pretty standard stuff. This one looks dope as hell, too. It's called Go Mecha Ball.
I threw this in there. This popped up on my fucking Twitter, and I was like, what game is this? I need it right now.
Oh, it's like a ball fighter.
Yeah, so like it's a roguelike meets pinball meets
my God,
Metroid
yes.
ball phase, like bullet hell stuff, and that is like all within my fucking wheelhouse. Like it's my ball house right here.
Yeah.
And this just looks fucking amazing. I can't wait for this game to come out. The character designs look dope. The like bosses look sick. The fucking just like the action and everything, like getting in and out of your morph ball looks awesome. If you don't have this on your wish list, I don't think you like video games. There,
Sure.
I said it.
It reminds me of what's it called? Scavenger. What was that game called?
Scavenger?
Danger Scavenger.
Danger Scavenger.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. Just
Yeah.
yeah, and the fact that you go from like rooftops and like
Yeah. Okay. All right.
clear the rooftop, get the thing, go to the next one. Oh man.
All right.
Yeah, I see it.
This game looks dope.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm very excited for it. So yeah, wish list this game, and if you don't, you're wrong.
Action, arcade, roguelike, pinball, bullet hell.
Yep. Those are all things I like.
Yeah. These are all words. Those are all words, you guys.
Yep.
It's time to get into the indie news report. And we have quite a few here. We have 3, which is a lot for this show. Usually we're struggling to find stuff that we really want to talk about outside of just the games we're playing or want to play. The first one I want to get into is the Annapurna Interactive Showcase.
Sure.
I forgot this was happening. I'll be completely honest with you. Super fan of the show. Buzz Killington brought this to our attention. So I just want to just give bullet points of what was announced, what was spoken about at this thing. See if anything. First of all, I just want to start the conversation by saying I love that indie publishers are doing showcases like this.
Yeah.
I think it's a really important way to show love to the developers and get these games in front of the eyes of the people who are actually going to play them. And there's the reason why so many third parties like Akili or whatever try to put these showcases together is because publishers, for whatever reason, just weren't doing it. I really don't know why. They would just announce a thing, it would disappear for a year and a half, and then come back, and then they would do their press tour, and then blah blah blah, it would come out. But this is a really smart thing that these indie devs are doing. But I digress. Especially spreading them out like this and not just having them on, a random day throughout the year, but like having the summer of games and like all that stuff come out. Anyway, Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth was announced, and it's Annapurna Interactive's first in-house game. So this is their own game that they are making.
Very exciting.
It's the first Blade Runner game in 25 years. It's their first in-house game. We don't know much. Nobody knows really much about it. It had a CG trailer, nothing crazy. Cocoon! Andy?
This game looks so nutty, man.
Oh my god, you guys.
Can't wait.
August
It's
2023
coming out on my
release.
fucking birthday.
On your
Wait,
birthday.
really?
No. It's around.
It says it's coming September 29th, but in the headline of IGN's article, it says August 2023. So somebody's got to get all up in there.
I don't
Very
care. I
weird.
still fucking want it. I don't care. I want it.
Just like the transitions in this game look
Like,
fucking ridiculous.
look at it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Stray is coming to Xbox in August. And that's for real. It's actually August 10th, so that's good.
Not to Game Pass, though. Not to Game Pass.
Not to Game Pass, which doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's an odd choice.
Thirsty
Wonder why.
Suitors gets a November 2023 release date, and I want to actually read like what this game is about, because I was like, oh, it's going to be like a dating thing that is for horny people. But it's
Andy.
It's a very unique game that features.
Yes, I love the Turnites.
Thirsty Suitors is a very unique game that features turn-based combat, skateboarding, cooking, and so much more. It will be released blah blah blah. November 2023. Thirsty Suitors stars Jayla, who throughout the game will have to confront her exes, deal with her demanding parents, get ready for her sister's wedding, and so much more in a game that is also a stylish celebration of South Asian culture. Pretty dope. I like that. It looks good. It looks good too.
I feel like we saw a trailer for this somewhere else, too.
Maybe.
Pretty rad.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I
read that
my
as
brain is
Yala
broken.
in my head for some reason.
Yeah.
It might be Yala. I just said Jayla.
That's how I don't know.
I mean, it's South Asian.
That makes more
so
sense to me though, for some reason.
It could be right. It could be right. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes showed a new trailer. Scary, spooky stuff. So have fun with that.
Me and Andy are going to play it.
It promises
100%.
to take players on a
Pure
quote
love.
journey into the nightmare surreality. Okay.
That's a sentence.
Lush foil
that's a word.
photography sim. This is just a photographer sim that you just go around taking pictures of photorealistic environments, which is
That looks
kind of weird.
Fucking gorgeous, though.
You're taking pictures of a picture. If
You take pictures in video games.
if something is photorealistic and you're taking pictures of it, is it photorealistic?
I don't know. Now you're fucking with my mind, man. Are you on drugs? Am I on drugs? What is happening?
Speaking
I
of
don't want
drugs,
this
the
fucking
next game that was
Inception level shit right now.
speaking of drugs, the creators of Katamari Damacy are at it again. This game is called 2AT. It is from their creators of Katamari Damacy, and it is you play a character that's stuck in the T pose. It's an episodic 3D adventure and a strong focus on character, interaction, story, and exploration. The main character is just trying to live a normal life while being stuck in a non-ideal position at all times.
Nice.
However, they soon learn that they may just be perfect the way they are. It's just a sprite just stuck in the T pose.
This is killing me.
Guys, you have to understand something. There's
the pitch for this must have been fucking great.
you have to understand this is the from the mind of a person who made the greatest character in gaming ever.
King of
in
all
the
cosmos.
King, in Katamari.
Yep,
Yeah,
King of all
the king.
cosmos, baby. Yeah, he's great. We got Flock.
I love how weird this shit is.
Yeah. Flock is a co-op game that has your friend has your flying. Does anybody proofread at IGN anymore? It's a game that has you flying through the skies with your friends and a bunch of flying creatures. So it's flying. You want to fly like a bird, do it. A Ghost Bike is a thrilling and speedy biking adventure through the afterlife. That was also speaking of
I like this.
That's in 2024.
Yeah, this game looks cool.
Mundawn is a haunting hand-penciled horror tale that is now available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. Scooby-Doo-Bop-a-Doo-ba-da-boo.
This game looks fucking rad.
Bounty Star.
It's on my Steam, Matt.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Bounty Star is a combination of mech combat, base building, and farming, which actually does look pretty cool. If you want to check out Bounty Star. Storyteller is heading to Netflix with new content. It's a puzzle game that you plays across multiple panels like a comic book. It'll be available to all Netflix subscribers on September 26th, 2023, with new content, scenarios, and more. And also announced was that Onapur Interactive has partnered with Maramitu Games and Glass Revolver. Glass Revolver's game is called We Kill Monsters. It was revealed it was originally going to be in 2D before the studio head Jacob Williams decided to delete the entire project and commit to 3D. So nice little interesting tidbit there. So check out those trailers. Go to IGN, give them the click. They compiled all the trailers there for you.
Man, I love Annapurna so much.
Guys,
I have to just say,
guys.
It's like, yes, Matt.
You're right there, Matt.
What's wrong, Matt?
I don't know, man. It's not good. My eyes are real itchy. I don't know what's happening.
You'll be all right, man.
Hey, dude.
You'll
You
be
do
all
not
right,
look
man.
well.
This next story is dumb. This is an opinion piece that is from on a PlayStation website. True Trophies. It's PS Plus should copy Xbox Game Pass instead of letting indie games die. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but like does everything get dark? Who am I?
Who am I here?
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. So the meat of this article is actually very interesting. The clickbaity headline. Don't worry about it. They're just trying to get clicks. So the meat of this article says, I've had the authors had like access to both PS Plus and Game Pass, and thinks that they actually do a very good job equally of putting games on the service, indie, AAA, whatever. But the problem that he sees is that Xbox does a pretty good job of highlighting indie games by dropping kind of like 1s and 2s at a time instead of pulling a whole slate of games on the service at one time. Whereas PlayStation really doesn't do that. Like maybe they'll throw out like one blog post or something, but the support doesn't really seem to be there for indie games as much. And in general, I really don't think that they do a great job of highlighting what's being added to PS Plus in the same way that Game Pass has and Xbox really has. And I don't know, I find it really interesting. I think it's probably true, and I'm curious why you guys think maybe this is happening. Like why doesn't Sony put their weight behind these games a little bit more? And like give them a little bit of a spotlight when they know that, it's pretty obvious that indie games are bigger than they've ever been and that they're not going away anytime soon.
I think this is gonna sound like console war-y, but I feel like we've had evidence of this for so long now, and it's only the end, like fall of this year, that it's really gonna start to change. But Xbox has to highlight them. Game Pass is everything to Xbox right now. Game Pass is what's keeping the Xbox brand alive through arguably their most tumultuous time as far as game development is concerned.
All right, I'm going to stop you really quick.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good reason.
Well, hang on. Let me right. keep going.
Because I think that because they don't have to is a terrible reason.
No, no. I'm saying Xbox does it to the nth degree,
right? Because
they've had to,
right?
So
but equally in that reaction, you're saying that Sony doesn't do it because they don't have to.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
All right,
I'm saying Sony does do it selectively. But I think what they're doing is they're not being as honest about the importance of the indie games, because 4 years ago or so, when they were talking about, you remember there was a whole thing about how Sony gave up on indies, and this was like, I want to say it was like late PS4 time, and then they came out and said indies are very important to PlayStation. Here's how we're going to support them. Remember there was like those articles about they don't support the developers, they blah blah blah, and it's like no, here's our strategy, here's whatever. And Andy and I interviewed plenty of developers that were like, and they were like, this is how Sony's great. Others are like, this is how Sony sucked. And it's like, okay, cool. So like we had that conversation. So like Sony kind of flipped it and was like, no, we know how they're important, but they're not matching their output as far as their spotlight is concerned. But that's also, Sony also doesn't do that enough for their own games. They're just bad at that in general for no good reason, in my opinion. Like the cycle that we've been getting for their internal AAA games has been lackluster